Alright everybody, this is a video on how to take the Abu Garcia Orra SX baitcasting reel apart. I only have a few minutes, so I'm just going to get right to it. You're going to need I have a P1 Phillips head screwdriver, a 10mm open-ended wrench, and a knife. You may or may not use this, depending on how far you go. Just start out by loosening up the screw here, and just take the spool out. There's that part. Here is the spool, and that leaves you with the handle. Just take your screwdriver, unscrew it, peel it back, take that part off, set the screw alongside it. Take your 10mm wrench, hold the handle and just turn it to the left and unscrew the screw or the nut. Set the nut off to the side. You're going to take the handle off. There's a little washer right behind it that gets stuck behind it. Don't forget that part. It's not a necessity, but it's there for a reason, I'm sure. Here's your star drag. Just unscrew it. And then take it off. Set that off to the side. It's filled inside with grease. I forget what this piece is called, but it has an open side below it that has a little clip inside of it that makes the star drag click. So you want the open side. You want the open side to be facing towards the reel, and the closed side to be away, facing towards the handle. You've got two little washers here. They are cupped a little bit. You want them cupping each other when you put it back, and that leaves just the drive shaft. So take the side plate off. You're gonna have, I think, 4 screws. You got one screw here. 2 of these screws that you're going to take off have fine threads. There's one screw that has fine threads that goes towards the front. You have a second screw in the back that has fine threads as well, but it's a little longer. I don't know if you can tell. I'm going to try to show you the difference. Can't really tell. I don't know if my camera's focusing or not, but one is shorter and one is taller, and they both have fine threads. The shorter one goes in the front towards the level wind, and the longer one goes in the back towards the base of the reel. So set those 2 off to the side. You have, I believe, 2 more screws. Your second, or your third screw, I should say, is a coarse thread screw, and it is the one that has the access control, or not control, but the access door to the gear inside. It needs to come out. Don't forget about that one so you don't break it when you take it off. But it is a short coarse thread screw, and the little door comes off with it. And then your last screw is right inside where the spool goes. Can't really get this wrong. It is also a coarse thread screw, and it is the longer of the 2 coarse thread screws. The smaller, shorter one goes with that little door that goes underneath. Again, I don't know if you can really see, but the taller one goes inside, the shorter one goes outside where the door is. Set those off to the side, and then this side plate just kind of lifts off. Just gently lift it, and it comes right off. Pretty simple deal here. I'm not going to disassemble this entire thing, but pretty much all you have here is you have the instant anti-reverse bearing right here. You want to make sure you keep that thing clean. It's a good time to clean it if you have it apart. And it's just presses in there. It's easier to press it in from the backside than it is from the outside. So, and it just kind of presses in there. And then you have on this reel, which you have on most reels, you have the spool tensioner cap, and it has a bearing, a single ball bearing in there that's held in with a C-clip. I'm not going to take it out, but that would be the full disassembly of this side. So we'll just go ahead and put that on. It's a pretty easy deal. Anybody that has oiled their bearings, I'm sure, has probably taken that bearing out, even though it's not a necessity to take it out to oil them. You have this part. I'm sorry, I don't know what the name of it is, but that just pulls out. You have it doesn't really matter. I've looked at it. It doesn't really matter if it goes on this way or if you turn it around and put it on this way. The point is that there is one side has a bevel to it, and you want the beveled side to go down where you actually had the keyway. So the keyway is going to go downward. But if you got that wrong, it's not going to destroy the reel or anything. You have a thrust washer that's sitting right on top of the drag washer, and you can just kind of bang it down. As you can see, the drag washer just came off, and that is going to go with the copper side. You have a copper washer, and then you have a steel washer, it looks like, and just make sure that copper washer is down towards the drag washer, which comes off next. You have your main gear that comes off. Most of the time you have all the pieces stuck together right behind it. You just kind of pop that off like that, and that is your bail set. When you click your bail, this is what it's going to set it down or set it in place. Hard to describe, but that's the business end of your bail. And then you have your two drag washers. You have one here and you have one here. I'm just going to leave them in there, but you can take them out. You have your two springs for your yoke. They just go right in here, right there. There's two of them, same size, can't get it wrong. So just set those off to the side. You have your yoke. You can just pull the whole thing out as one. And then there is your pinion gear, and there's your yoke. I think it's called a yoke, could be a cam. You can comment on it if you choose. Set those off to the side. And then what you have left is basically the bare bones of the reel. You can start by taking off these two screws. There's a small screw here and a small screw here on the opposite side. All those two screws take off is this little plastic piece that is in front of the level wind. I'll go ahead and take those off right now. Again, they are much smaller than the other 4 screws that you've already taken off, and you can't really get it wrong when you're putting it back together. They are much smaller than the other ones. So there they are. Just set those off to the side. And then this front part that covers the level wind just comes right off. Most of the time you'll find a bunch of gunk inside there if you're fishing ponds like I do. Good time to clean that out. That exposes your level wind. Let's see. I'm going to go ahead and start a part 2 to this because it looks like I'm at about 9 minutes. And I don't know, I think I'm going to make these videos about 10 minutes. So we'll start another one.